Hello beautiful people. 2025 has just been a standout year for indie releases, and it might seem overwhelming to just keep track of all the good ones, but luckily, you don't have to worry with Wolfman Dan in your corner. I have the notes and facts needed to showcase some great releases from November that you might have missed out on. But before I start, welcome, my name is Wolfman Dan, and I talk about indies, also gaming in general, and if you enjoy hearing about them, why not subscribe and be notified about some games you've missed out on, or are just looking for something new to play? For now, let's sit back, open up Steam, and start wishlisting. Dinocop. When dinosaurs were brought back to life, none of them wanted to be a cop. So humans created you, Dinocop. All dinosaur and all cop. Dinocop from Pieces Games is a detective mystery where you have to investigate the guests of the Cretaceous Hotel to crack a big meaty case. Literally. As a cop, you have a big magnifying glass to help you find clues, a notebook to keep track of them, and your giant dino nose to help you sniff out the ones you might be missing. Try to convince the guests to disclose the information needed to help solve this case. Set in an interesting world that asks the question, what if Theodore Rex was actually good? If you're a fan of the Duck Detective games, maybe give it a try and enjoy this charming and fun world where you find out just how well dinosaurs and people can mix. Total Chaos. This shadow dropped in November after months of just waiting, and it has not failed to deliver. This might be the best survival horror of 2025, and there was some stiff competition. From Trigger Happy Interactive, the creator of Turbo Overkill, absolute peak FPS by the way, please go check it out. You're on Fort Oasis, a deserted decaying place that's not meant for the living. Wrecked on the island, you need to delve deeper in order to escape, but be careful. This is a horror game by the way. A true survival horror even, where you scavenge supplies and craft makeshift weapons to defend yourself against multiple creatures that stalk the halls, and through the decaying buildings of this horrible island. Originally a Doom Total Conversion mod that's been developed into a full game, and as you can see, the graphics are an incredible upgrade as the design of the island and the atmosphere is an incredible experience. Total Chaos might be difficult, but will stay with you long after every play session. Nitroglycerine. The concept is simple. Transport a truck full of nitroglycerine across treacherous terrain and try not to blow yourself up. Now, if you know your film history, you might have watched The Wages of Fear, an incredibly tense and nail-biting suspense thriller about transporting one of the most volatile substances on the planet. Nitroglycerine tries to recreate the intense, nerve-wracking suspense of that film, but in video game format. And it will cause you to swallow your chair in from the tension. Ass first. Will you take on just one run to get the cash, or wimp out and watch the YouTube recaps of the film? Lame, but the game isn't. Go check it out. And if you're a streamer, you're welcome, for me giving you some free content. Now, please subscribe. Demonschool. Demonschool's awesome. Full disclosure, I received the key from the devs and have been making my way through it. Demonschool is a turn-based tactics RPG from Necrosoft Games, where you play as Faye, who's arrived at a secret university with one goal, hunting demons. Meet all kinds of weird characters on your journey as you take part in fights with a unique battle system where your order of movement and the use of characters is vital. And once you initiate it, looks pretty cool. Not that far in, but I've been enjoying it a lot. The graphics are amazing and vibrant, the music is fun, and Faye is a deranged maniac who just starts fights and wants a pretzel. Girl after my own heart. The combat is the standout for me. The grid system and ability to rewind remind me more of Into the Breach than Final Fantasy Tactics. Also having some defensive characters who can attack means every fight is a puzzle you need to solve. It's a real great time and will most likely be on a lot of top 10 lists this year. Check it out. News Tower. Oh boy, a game about managing a newspaper in this climate? Better write up some good clickbait then. Claire Obscure proves JRPGs are finally good. Something like that. You manage a newspaper in 1930s New York and develop a Sparrow Knight's management sim that just came out of early access. Start from scratch and build your paper on the backs of your workforce as you hire reporters, photographers, and even janitors to churn out a paper every Sunday. The janitor writes the crossword puzzles. Shape the future of your paper by following the leads and deciding which topics to cover from crime, sports, or politics. And make sure neither of the four factions controlling New York push you around too much. The Mafia just want more film reviews. Lots of elements here that need to be kept track of in this really in-depth management game. The headlines read, it's worth checking out. Man, this wood of mine is too good for the printed page. Verho, Curse of Faces. Ooh, okay. Probably one of my favorite games from the year, and it's a fantastic experience that, without spoiling too much, is a great King's Field-like, with an almost unrivaled atmosphere, fun combat, and a world that refreshes enough to never get stale, and will never leave you feeling lost as you explore, which a lot of these games in that genre tend to struggle from. I made a video about it, talking in more detail, but the more time I spend with it, the more I enjoy it. The game takes place in the era of solitude, where everyone is forced to wear a mask thanks to a curse that almost decimated the entire human population. Coming to the land of Yarif, you're looking for a cure to the curse, but many have ventured here before, and it's not a charming realm. Take on multiple horrifying enemies and bosses as you collect weapons, spells, and other items to help you in this quest. Verho is awesome. Check it out if you want a great little RPG to get lost in. Live hard, die hard. An army of aliens are here to invade the Earth, so basically Tuesday, and you need to give them an Earth-style greeting. Live hard, die hard wears many hats, but it's mostly a game about preparation and training a squad you hope will survive an alien assault. You have 4 weeks to build the ultimate strike team. Build your base, manage the resources, and assemble individuals to help decide humanity's fate. Once battles start, you need to make sure your soldiers stay alive, and while not in direct control of your squad, it's important to deploy reinforcements and unleash skills and artillery to help out. Wounded soldiers need treatment, and you need to hurry because a soldier out of duty is a gun not being fired. Killing enemies drops material that can be used to enhance your squad, but might have some side effects. The soldier with great aim isn't that much use if they have no eyes. You might be a good listener though. After battles, you need to manage their stress, training, and maybe back up their genome to implant in other soldiers, should they finally fall in battle. Okay, this was a lot to explain, but it's basically an auto-battler with a lot more elements and management required outside battle. It's a lot like a bowl of chips drowning in ketchup. It's messy, but works. And delicious. Don't think less of me for that, please. Strategy fans should check it out. Deep Space Exploitation. A 2D space mining game that features fully destructible asteroids and physics. Secure your future by carefully mining for the best shiny rocks and use the cash to upgrade your ship and gear in order to get the most out of mining. From Gerger, Deep Space Exploitation is an ambitious little strategy game that has similar physics to Noida, in which the ground is as stable as a handful of salt. And I wouldn't have it any other way. These beautiful chunky pixels make the breaking of asteroids, explosions, and even crashing your ship incredibly satisfying. I call this the perfect Sunday night game. You're a bit tense because work starts Monday again, but you don't want to commit to something that takes too much time. So you grab a tea and start some Deep Space Exploitation, and all that stress just disappears as you spent the night mining minerals. You're ready for the new week, and you're going to do great. Strange Seed. The more graphics and tech improves, the further we move away from the perfection of Spore. Until now. Strange Seed from Chronicles Games has you play a blob who can evolve any DNA you eat, upgrade yourself with parts of animals to either fight, run, fly, or any skills you need to overcome the challenges that is survival of the fittest. Something of a mix between Spore, Evo, and Impossible Animals. Strange Seed has you ask the question, what if a cat had hands? Nothing good could come from it, I assume. Defeat all kinds of creatures to collect their DNA and build your perfect body. Then explore more than 10 biomes from sandy beaches, the heart of a volcano, and a city. Are we creating human-animal hybrids here? Will the humanzees finally exist? The biomes are full of secrets to find and inaccessible areas that can be reached with the right DNA splicing. An action RPG where stats are just body parts, and combat is very chaotic as you take on multiple creatures and use your new body parts to end their lineage. It's a strange beast of a game, but a lot of fun once you put butterfly horns on a triceratops. It works. Somehow. Captain Wayne, Vacation, Desperation. Man's got a shotgun for an arm. Sometimes a game doesn't need me to talk about it to sell it. It speaks for itself. Captain Wayne from Kieran Games is an FPS built in the GZ Doom engine that's a lot faster than games in that engine tend to be. Feels a little bit more like Blood, and I like that. Play as the hot pink wearing Captain Wayne and his trusty arm shotgun, all reliable, and take on enemies and jib them with that shotgun arm, chain gun fingers, or an explosive brew along with other weapons. But if that sounds too boring, you can throw an explosive barrel at a group or get up close and punch their guts out of their body. Gross, but cool. Another amazing boomer shooter to add to an already stacked year. Captain Wayne stands out for its fast-paced combat, unique hand-drawn style, and fun humor that makes this a memorable release for 2025. Uktena 64. From Kira, developer of the amazing Lunacid, Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion, and the underrated Lost in Vivo. Uktena 64 is a re-release of a short game created for the Dread X collection. Does anyone remember when we got a title from that series once a year? It was pretty awesome. Like Squirrel Stapler, Uktena 64 is another of the short games in that series, expanded with more content and even a brand new additional campaign. You're Jebediah, who gets a job offer from the CDC to hunt down diseased animals in the forest that are host to an unknown virus. And never want to back down from a hunt, you grab a beer, your gun, a camera, and get to it. If you're looking for that insane mixture of GoldenEye, body horror, and a hunting simulator, then look no further than Uktena 64 Ultimate. Also check out the Dread X Collection series of games. The FPS one was especially great. Sliding Hero. A puzzle Metroidvania from Silent Chicken where you can only slide in one direction. Your every move is a test of strategy as the game turns movement into a puzzle as you travel through a sinister Venetian villa, trying to escape. The villa is a maze of hidden passageways, locked doors, and secrets that need to be uncovered. Like most Metroidvanias, you unlock new tools to enter previously unreachable areas, and find new shortcuts to explore the villa in a non-linear fashion. Combat has you use the environment, weapons, and artifacts to dispatch enemies. Each encounter has you figure out how to defeat the enemies with your limited moveset. The game has amazing pixel graphics and a really well done art style that stands out along with the fantastic music, which transports you to a time of Harlequin masks and annoying tassels on shoes. This is the definition of a hidden gem that most people might pass over due to its unique control scheme. But maybe try taking a leap, or slide into this title. Dead Wells, the Devil Fragment. While Verho was more the traditional Kingsfield-like, Dead Wells is just balls to the wall action and goofing off. Hack, slash, parry, and dodge your foes, and if that fails, just pull out a gun, take them out. There really is no limit to how much you can screw around thanks to the devs at Echo 7 Project, as you can launch enemies in the air and juggle them with relentless attacking, and believe me, you have plenty of means of attack. Find a ton of weapons and upgrades to use, from your classic axes, swords, shotgun, or even a Simon Belmont style whip. You'll take on plenty of bosses that need to be parried and taken out JoJo style. A difficult but fun RPG that does something unique with the genre while also showcasing wild visuals that stand out just for being outrageously garish. I love it. Did I mention the battles on horseback? There we go. Now, I know your fingers must be tired from wishlisting so many great games, but I would really love it if you clicked subscribe down below if you haven't. That'll help you get that full rep in as the video ends. But here we go, another great batch of indies, with even more playing right now if you want to stick around. But which one stood out for you? Hopefully Strange Seed. We need more games about messing with DNA. That always ends well. For now, I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, have a great time gaming. Goodbye.